So obviously it's first week in a while. You've had a full week to prepare for a game. So how's everything been this week, and how's everyone looking?
Yeah, good. Yeah, we're all looking forward to the game. You know, we've been getting prepared for it. 2 days now. So we got to finish a little bit of preparation tomorrow, but we've done the bulk of the work now. So yeah, we're just hoping now that we can take that into a game and go and get the result that I think we deserve.
And then obviously a lot of praise last weekend for Killian and on his debut. Just tell me a little bit about him, because I haven't had a chance to chat. So just tell me about what kind of person he is and what kind of player he is.
He's a great lad. As I've said before, Irish boy, real strong Irish accent. Has fitted in great with the lads. To be fair, he fitted in very, very well, even before he took the pitch. Now he's taken the pitch, he actually gets more respect off the lads for how he is, how he's trained. He's been fantastic ever since he's come through the door, and Robert Street. So that's a credit to Crystal Palace, to be fair. I think Paddy McCarthy does a really, really good job with their under 23s down there, and he's sent two great boys up to us this season.
Yeah, they must think highly of what you're doing here to send out, two lads that have done well since they've come in.
Well, maybe. I'm not, self-praise is no praise, so everybody else could say that, but that's, as I just said there, self-praise is no praise. So if somebody wants to think that, that's great. We're delighted.
And for a young lad to have someone here that he knows beforehand, does that help him settle in a little bit rather than be a little bit nervous?
Yeah, I think so. I think it helped getting him here as well, because obviously his first phone call when he knew we were interested last summer, but we couldn't get him out at the time because he was in and around the first team, played in the first team in their pre-season games, so we couldn't get Killian out then. It was a little bit like Tyrese Fornell last year. We wanted him at the beginning of the season, but couldn't get him until this window. So, I suppose we're slightly disappointed we couldn't get him when we wanted to get him, but, better late than never, as they say. So I think that obviously helped, because his first phone call then would have been to Rob Strait, and Rob has enjoyed himself here. So, yeah, I think obviously it helps Crystal Palace knowing they're sending him, he's going to be looked after. And obviously there was a good bit of information that Rob was able to give him about, how we train, what we do, how we do it, and the players in the dressing room that he was going to come into. And it's a very good dressing room to come into, so yeah.
You mentioned injuries, obviously Tom Flanagan, how's he? Obviously we know what happened to him, how is he?
Yeah, a lot better. He had it rough, Tom. He had a really bad sort of like hematoma on it, just above his hip, and he's still got a little bit there, fluid there now, but Tom, I would imagine, will be okay. He's trained this week, tentatively at the beginning of the week, better as the week's gone on.
Matt Pennington, obviously if he starts, this is going to be his 100th appearance for the club, one of your first signings, so just tell me a little bit about him.
He'll be sub. 100 games, is it? He's been great, hasn't he? Not only is he a great lad, he's done great for us. He's been here from very, very early days, and he would have seen lots gone on, how the dressing room's evolved, perhaps how the club has evolved, and he's just a great boy. If the biggest compliment you could ever pay Matthew Pennington is if he walked through the door with one of your daughters, you'd be delighted. He's a real great kid. He's loved in the dressing room, and it's good as well because he's got a good bit of dry banter. He's a clever boy, Matthew Pennington, and very, very popular in there as well.
And like I say, he's one of the first people you brought in, and before that he had loans when he was at Everton.
Yeah.
But do you feel like now he's settled here and he's really putting an impact on this club now?
Well, I think he's already put an impact on, yeah. I think there was a little bit of that. He was a bit here, there and everywhere, getting loans and going back. But I think what's happened here is I know that before he came in here, he'd spoken to Luke Ayling, I suppose what it was going to be like working with me and what we would do for him. I actually think Matthew Pennington's actually improved since he's been here, and I think that goes on all of them. I think there's lots of things that we work on in training. I think Che Dunkley's a better player now than he was at the beginning of the season when he came to us. But as I always say, you can never make anybody better without their consent. Those two boys give you their consent. I'm not saying the others don't as well, by the way, but we're just talking specifically about a couple of lads there. They give you their consent to be constructively criticised, but then go out on the training pitch and work at it, and they do that. And we're talking specifically about Penno. I think he's improved a lot since he come here.
And finally, just looking ahead to Saturday, short trip to Burton, and you're going to be backed by a lot of fans. So, just your thoughts going ahead into that one.
Yeah, well, I hope we win the game, because otherwise it means I've got to come back and look at you next week, you Burton Albion fan. Make sure you keep that bit in as well. We always get good followings when we go over to Burton, and luckily over the last years we've gone there and we've got positive results, and we'll try and go and do that again at the weekend. As I said before, I think they're a good team. I think their league position belies where they should be. I think there's a couple down there at the moment that are playing very, very well. Burton Albion are one of them, and Morecambe are another. So, yeah, I think it'll be a tough game, but one we're looking forward to.
Cheers, thank you.
Okay.